Our first essential question is, how do you add and subtract with integers? For vocab, we have two. The first one are integers. What are they? Well, actually, they're positive and negative whole numbers and zero. Zero is also included as an integer, even though it's neither positive nor negative. Next is the additive inverse. This sounds really complicated, but I promise you it's not. It's all about opposites. Any numbers n and negative n that are opposites. The sum of n and negative n is 0. So all this means is when you add two opposites, you're going to get 0 no matter what. That's what an additive inverse is. 5 and negative 5, 0. Negative 10 and positive 10, still 0. Now, when you're adding and subtracting with integers, there's a couple methods you can use. One of them involves the number line method. You can actually use the number line and maybe some kind of figure or counter to move up and down the number line. Look at the steps below. First step, no matter what, is to begin at the first number in the problem. So that's where your counter or figure or whatever it is that you're using should begin. Then you have to decide, is it addition or is it subtraction? If it's addition, your counter should face the positive numbers. But if it's subtraction, your counter should face the negative numbers. The following steps after that are the same no matter what. If you're adding a positive number, you're going to walk forwards. If you're adding a negative number, you're going to walk backwards. So you have to look at the second number in the problem, and that'll help you to decide whether you're walking forwards or backwards. Same thing for subtraction. If the second number is positive, your counter's going to walk forwards. If the second number is negative, you're going to walk backwards. Let's do some practice problems so you can see what I'm talking about. There we go. Okay. Take a look at this problem here in the blue. 3 plus negative 1. Well, the first thing I have to do is I have to begin at the first number in the problem. So here I am on the number line. I'm going to move myself to number 3. Next, I have to decide if this is addition or subtraction. Since it's addition, I need to make sure I'm facing the positive numbers. And hey, look at that. I am. Well, now I look at the second number. The second number is negative. I am adding a negative number, which means I have to walk backwards. So I'm going to do the moonwalk, and I'm going to walk backwards one time. Because this was a 1, it was a negative 1, so I'm walking backwards 1. 3 plus negative 1 is actually positive 2. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, the next one is negative 4 plus negative 1. Again, I need to start at the first number in the problem, which is negative 4. So I'm going to move myself down to negative 4. And because it's addition, I need to make sure I'm facing the positive numbers, which I am. And now, let's see, I'm looking at the second number. I'm adding a negative 1. So that means if I'm adding a negative, I have to walk backwards again, right? So here I go, doing the moonwalk. Now I'm at negative 5. So that means negative 4 plus negative 1 is negative 5. Not too shabby. Ooh, now this one's a little bit more complicated. Now we have subtraction. I'm going to begin at the first number in the problem, just like I did before. So I'm going to start at positive 3. This time, since it's subtraction, I need to face the negative numbers. So look at me. Now I'm looking in the opposite direction. My body is facing the negative numbers. Now I see that I am subtracting a negative 2. So I'm subtracting a negative number. If subtracting a negative number, I need to walk backwards. Here I go, doing the moonwalk yet again. I'm subtracting a negative 2, so I have to walk backwards 2. 1, 2. That means that 3 minus a negative 2 is actually, no way, it's 5. One more time. All right, I need to start at negative 1. Because this is a subtraction problem, I once again have to be facing the negative numbers. Now it says that I'm subtracting a negative again. So I guess that means I have to walk backwards again. Boy, I haven't moved forwards once. Okay, so I'm going to subtract a negative number, so I have to walk backwards that many spaces. I'm subtracting a negative 2, so I'm going to walk backwards 2 spaces. 1, 2. That means that negative 1 minus a negative 2 is a positive 1. Okay, now it's your turn. I want you to try the practice at the bottom of the page. Please use the arrows and the steps to make your way through these problems. Feel free to use a number line and some kind of counter, maybe even a little action figure, whatever you have at home, to move along the number line and make sure that you're facing the right direction. That way you'll know if you're doing the moonwalk or you're just walking forwards like regular. I will see you in class.